Hi everyone, welcome to today's yoga class. So today's class is going to be a nice, good morning, gentle flow. So this is one of those classes that you want to do when you get up, you're a little bit tired, you're a little bit woozy, maybe you didn't have the best sleep, you got stuff that you need to get done today, so you can kind of slowly start to unwind with this class. So I invite you to grab your yoga mat, grab your coffee. I've got mine here. You can grab your coffee maker or French press, bring them in with you for when you run out. Maybe a mimosa is your thing this morning, in which case I absolutely recommend you grab that, and maybe you can drop one off on my front porch too. Whatever it is you're choosing to have as your drink of choice, bring it over to your mat, pause the video if you need to. And we're just gonna start with a nice, comfortable, seated Shavasana, so that way you can continue to take sips of your beverage. Now, you don't have a beverage this morning. If you want to go ahead and lie down in your Shavasana, you go right ahead. I'm gonna stay here. This is coffee number 1 of the day. I have a feeling I'm gonna need more. So I'm gonna use that kind of as my vessel this morning. So whatever it is you're doing, whether you're in a seated or a laying down Shavasana, you can go ahead and really start to get comfortable. So if you're laying down on your back, really sinking into that mat. And if you're seated like me, maybe you want to just take a moment to wiggle around, make sure those sit bones are planted firmly into your mat, firmly into the earth. You can go ahead and close your eyes here. And just start to connect with your breath. So starting to take those really nice, long, deep inhales and exhales through your nose. And just allow yourself to start letting go. Relaxing your jaw, releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth, uncreasing your forehead, and maybe doing a shoulder roll, pulling those shoulders back and down. And just focus on those nice, big, full breaths here. If you're like me, you usually wake up with morning sniffles. So your breathing might not be as long and as expansive as you'd like. That's okay. Your breaths might be short and shallow this morning, so don't judge them. Simply try your best to make them as long as possible. As you inhale, I really want you to feel your belly rise as it fills up with air. And as you exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine, connecting with the earth even more. This is a wonderful time for you to set an intention for yourself for today's practice. Whether your intention is something like listening to your body, trying something different, or maybe just having fun. A lot of people think yoga has to be something so serious, but I still remember when I did my yoga teacher training. And one of my instructors, I'll never forget what he said. He said, guys, it's time for us to play yoga. Let's just be for and play yoga. And I liked that. It takes away some of the seriousness. It takes away some of the pressure. So think about what that intention is for you. Maybe for today you want to play yoga. You want to drink your coffee or your mimosa and have some fun with this class today. So whatever that intention is, think about it, send your breath to it, and allow it, to guide you through today's practice. We're going to go ahead and take 3 more nice big full breaths here in your opening relaxation. After that third nice big full breath, this is where I'd like you to start to bring awareness back into your body and back into the space that you're in. So starting to wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, circling wrists, and then circling ankles. And gently moving your head from side to side, getting those morning cracks out. If you're in a seated position, you can go ahead and reach forward, taking a nice sip of your drink. And then we're all going to make our way onto our backs. Bringing both knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, and just giving yourself a really nice spine massage here by rocking from side to side. Beautiful. From here, you're going to go ahead, plant the soles of your feet down on your mat. On your next inhale, I want you to lift up your hips as you lift your arms up over your head, squeezing your bum at the top, and exhale as everything releases back down. We're going to do that a few more times with your own breath. So as you inhale, reaching hands over your head, squeezing those glutes at the top. And then exhale to bring everything down. So taking your time here as we go through this bridge flow. And just kind of notice how different parts of your body are feeling as we start to move them. So noticing how those hips are feeling as we lift them up. Notice how those glutes are feeling as you squeeze up at the top. And noticing how those shoulders are feeling at the top of the movement. Remembering that you can always modify any of these poses. Keep in mind this is your yoga practice. I'm simply here to give suggestions. One more rotation wherever you're at. And then coming back to where we started, you're going to take that right foot. You're going to go ahead and cross that right foot over top of your left knee. So we're going to come into a nice gentle figure 4. Now if this is enough for you this morning, your hips are feeling tight, you need to stay right here. Otherwise, you're going to reach through and grab onto the back of that left thigh. So you can start to circle that left ankle here in one direction and the other. Maybe even pointing and flexing that entire foot, wiggling those toes. From here, I'd like you to go ahead and release your hands. You're going to place that left foot back down on your mat. This time, you're slowly going to bring that right foot down towards the left side of the room. So we're going to be coming into a figure 4 twist. So arms can come into cactus or arms can come into T. And I recommend looking over your opposite shoulder. So in this case, everything is pointed to the left, so we're going to look over our right shoulder. And just relax here. Just enjoying the nice stretch in your lower back. One more nice big full breath. Slowly bringing your head back to center, slowly bringing your legs back, and then dropping that right foot down. Bringing your feet wider than mat distance, you can start to windshield wiper your legs from side to side. You guys know me, I love windshield wipers. They are one of my favorite movements. They are so simple, but can work such magic. So when you're laying in bed in the morning, this is a great thing to do before you even come up out of bed. So we're gonna pause at the top, and this time we're gonna switch sides. So lifting up, placing that left foot over top of that right knee, that right thigh, whatever it can reach. You can either pause here if this is enough, or reach through, grabbing onto the back of that right thigh this time. Ooh. You're gonna notice potentially that one side is a little bit tighter than the other. So starting to circle that right ankle in both directions here. And we're not gonna be on our backs for too long, so don't worry about your coffee getting cold. I promise, I don't want mine to get cold either. Next breath, you can release those hands, release that right foot down. Go ahead and bring those arms into cactus or T as you slowly start to bring the left sole all the way down, coming into that nice gentle twist. This time we're gonna look over our left shoulder. Couple more breaths here. On your next breath, your gaze comes back to center, squeezing your core, bringing those legs back, planting the left sole of your foot down, and once again doing that nice gentle windshield wiper. From here, we're going to come into a seated position, so you have two options to do so. You can either bring your knees into your chest, lift that right arm up over your head and roll over onto your right side body, pushing yourself up here all the way up, or crossing your ankles, grabbing onto your big toes and rolling yourself up into that seated position. Go ahead and take a sip of that coffee. Oh, so good. So we're gonna actually do some seated cat-cows here, so that way if you do have a beverage, you can continue drinking it. So, we're gonna start by sitting up nice and tall. Nice and neutral spine here. As you inhale, I want you to arch that back, really pushing in here. You're gonna feel your pelvis tilting back, and I want your gaze to come up. As you exhale, round your upper back, look towards your belly button. So inhaling, tilting, arching that spine, your gaze comes up, pulling those shoulders back as much as you can, and then exhale, rounding your upper back, look towards your belly button. So you're gonna continue these gentle seated cat-cows with your own breath here. Kind of wishing I didn't wear a black shirt. I just realized I'm potentially just blending into the fireplace, so we'll keep that in mind for next time. So a couple more rotations here. Beautiful. When you're ready, finding stillness. On your next breath, I'd like you to inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, bringing your hands to heart center. We'll do that again. So inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up. This time, you're going to bring that left hand over top of your right knee, look over your right shoulder. So pulling that right shoulder back and down here. Next breath, coming back to center. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up. And as you exhale, right hand, left knee, looking over that left shoulder. Next breath, coming back to center, sweeping our hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale, I want you to fold all the way down, dropping your head down. You can go ahead and nod your head yes, shake your head no. Noticing a nice release in your hips as you do so. Walking those fingertips out as much as you can. Next breath, slowly starting to roll up. Your head is going to come up last. Great job, everyone. So we are going to go ahead and come into our first downward facing dog. So if you're wearing slippers like I am, this is probably a good time to go ahead and take those off. So you can start by coming down onto all fours. You can walk your knees back a few inches, lift up your hips. Oh, there we go, our first downward facing dog of the day. This is a great time for you to start to pedal out your heels. So that means gently bending one knee, then the other, getting a really beautiful calf stretch here. If downward dog is too much, you're gonna come down onto all fours, walk your hands out, and come into a puppy pose instead. So you're gonna choose what works best for you this morning. Please listen to your body. If you're in your down dog, I want you to find stillness here. So I want you to think about pressing all 10 fingers into your mat and pretending that mat is like a Kleenex that you're trying to rip in half. So you're trying to pull your fingers away from your toes here. Beautiful. On your next breath, look towards your hands. You can walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, nice halfway lift here. And exhale as you fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale, bringing your hands to your heart. I want you to go ahead and clasp those fingers, reach up over your head, and gently bend over to one side. Next breath, coming back to center, moving on to the other side. Coming back to center, and then gently reaching up over your head, coming into a really nice gentle back bend. So noticing how mine is just very slight. I don't want us to be going all the way, especially if this is your first movement of the morning. From here, we're gonna go ahead and do a nice big swan dive down. So releasing your hands, arms come out to the sides, fingertips to floor. Inhale, coming up halfway once again. Exhale, planting your hands, step back into a nice high plank, and then lowering down onto your knees. Looking forward, I want you to hinge at your elbows, bringing your chest all the way down. So that was our first chaturanga. Place the shoelace side of your feet down. As you gently lift up your chest, elbows are going to remain bent as we come into our nice baby cobra here. So pulling those shoulders back and down. Once again, this is just a really nice, gentle back bend. Next breath, lowering that chest down, tucking your toes, lifting up your hips, downward facing dog. Look towards your hands and walk your feet up to meet them. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale as we bring our hands to our heart. Great work, everyone. We're gonna take a nice big inhale, so bend your knees. Nice big inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Inhale, coming up halfway. And exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back into that high plank. Option to drop down onto your knees, or you can stay with me, hinging at your elbows, coming into that hover, and then sweeping through into your up dog. So arms are straight here. Option is that baby cobra that we started with. So you're gonna decide what works best for you. Pulling those shoulders back and down here. Beautiful, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Slowly lowering your knees down, coming into that child's pose, using this opportunity to get a sip of water or of your delicious coffee. So you decide what your body needs. So I have to tell you, I just figured out how to use a French press, so I'm not that fancy, and it has been life-changing. Balzac's coffee in a French press, it's magic. So if you haven't had a chance to try it, I highly recommend you do so. All right, if you are in that child's pose, you're gonna slowly start to roll yourself up, stacking your spine. Your head's gonna come up last, and we're all gonna go ahead and meet in your down dog. So taking your time to get there. Remembering, it's quality over quantity, especially this morning. You're gonna go ahead and inhale that right heel high to the sky, and as you exhale, bend that right knee, swing it in between your hands, pivot onto that left foot, so your left foot is parallel with the back of your mat, and we're gonna come into our warrior two here. Look down, make sure that front knee isn't caving in. It's at a nice 90-degree angle here, and that right heel is in line with the midpoint of that left foot. Pulling those shoulders back and down here. Next breath, flip that right palm, exalt your warrior. Slowly coming back, we're gonna get some small gentle movements in here. So as you inhale, you're gonna straighten that front knee and bring your hands together over the top of your head, almost like you're giving yourself a high five. And as you exhale, bending that front knee, coming back into that warrior two. So as you inhale, straighten, high five, exhale, release. So you're gonna do this with your own breath. So going as fast or as slow as your body needs. And maybe each time, seeing if you can get a little bit deeper into that warrior two. Beautiful, one more just like that. From here, you're gonna cartwheel your hands down on either side of that front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhaling that left heel high to the sky this time. As you exhale, bend that left knee, bring that foot in between your hands. Step that right foot down so it's parallel with the back edge of your mat. Ooh, a little wobbly this morning. I swear it's just coffee in that mug. Warrior two on this side. So my yoga room isn't insulated, so that's why you'll notice I usually have a fireplace behind me, and I try to leave my socks on just because of how cold my feet get. However, when you're doing yoga on a mat, socks aren't the best option. So you're gonna notice if I'm kind of sliding a little bit, that's why. You're gonna inhale, flipping that left palm up over your head, exalting your warrior. Your gaze is up to the sky. Beautiful. Next breath, coming back into that warrior two. We're gonna do what we did with our nice gentle movement flow. So every time you sink into that warrior. Nice job, everyone. We'll do a couple more here. And after your last one, whenever you're ready, we're gonna once again bring those hands down, step back, downward facing dog, lowering down into that child's pose. Once again, using this opportunity, grab whatever you need. As we slowly start to unwind our practice. So you can go ahead and hang out in your child's pose for a few breaths, and when you're ready, you're just going to come meet me in a seated position. All right, from here, slowly starting to roll yourself down all the way onto your mat. Oh. Bringing both knees into your chest. You're going to place hands on top of your knees, big toes to touch. As we circle our knees in one direction, we're going to go ahead and circle in the other. When you're ready to do so, and then coming into that happy baby. So I like to add small movements into my happy baby, but it's up to you if you just want to remain still, or if you'd like to start to straighten one leg then the other. So just getting a nice hamstring stretch in there. Great job. From here, I'm either going to give you, so you'll have two options. You can either bring your knees to your chest, arm up overhead, and roll over onto that side and just pause here. And this is where we're gonna have our Shavasana, just kind of in that halfway position, because this position signals to your body that you're about to come up, you're about to wake up. And this is a great one for our start to our day. The other option is to come and just meet me in a seated Shavasana. So you're gonna choose what works best for you. We're gonna spend a couple of moments just breathing together, and then you can go ahead and get started with your day. So wherever it is you are, you're gonna start to focus once again on that breath. This time really trying to slow that breathing down. So you can close your eyes here. And just notice if you can expand your breath a little bit more than when we first started our class. I'd like to invite you to stay right where you are for as long as you need to. And only get up to get started with your day when you're ready to do so. I'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for joining me in today's morning flow. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. From the bottom of my heart and from my energy to yours, namaste. Cheers, everyone.